Hi, I'm Jamie Redknapp, and you're listening to the Fantasy Threesome podcast. Enjoy.
Yes, hello. You are listening to the Fantasy Threesome FPL podcast. I'm Phil. Tonight is a very special podcast. We're recording on Wednesday night, Wednesday after transfer deadline day. The door has slammed, not closed, shut, slammed, and we are here together if you think that normally we sound like we haven't planned our podcast very well, we're unprofessional, you're in for a real treat tonight because we have literally just come online. There's no schedule. We're just going to chat FPL and see what happens. Sometimes it's best that way. I'm here with Ant, who's sipping out of a mug. I can't quite work out what's on your mug.
It's Winnie the Pooh, mate. Nothing is more manly than a bit of Winnie the Pooh.
Winnie the Pooh mug. Mike, can you compete? Can you compete with a Winnie the Pooh mug?
I've got bagels with cheesy beans on top.
Toasted bagels, I assume?
Got to be. Oh, my goodness.
Quick question I was thinking of whilst cooking said bagels.
Uh-huh.
And a great philosopher once wrote...
naughty, very naughty.
Not the shaman and Ebenezer good, but one wrote, why is it that so few of you see the donut but focus on the hole? But seriously though, why is there a hole in a bagel?
Yeah.
I mean, it makes it very difficult for filling in. Makes it very difficult when you're buttering.
Yep.
You got no chance of just a quick, when I butter bread, there's a quick dust off or toast, a quick dust off of the worktop onto the floor. Someone will come to that at some point. You can't do that with butter.
It's one of life's great mysteries, isn't it? Really,
can't do that with butter. No, you can't. You're right.
You can't, and it falls through the middle when you're buttering your bagel.
Yeah, you have to have a very precise technique with a bagel. I find you have to use more force to make sure you kind of create a moat in the middle of the bread part of the bagel.
I wonder if you could invent a bagel knife that would go in a circular fashion but not get a hole.
I'm not sure that's possible. I'm not sure what you're trying.
You'd probably be a very rich man if you could.
I'll give it some thought.
Please do.
More thought than you've given tonight.
For sure. For sure.
You
didn't even have time for the gym tonight.
Didn't you?
Wow. Must be busy.
I feel bad to have taken you away from the gym.
I've joined a gym, lads.
Have you?
Yeah.
What are you doing? Weights, is it?
A bit of arm work. A bit of cardio burn. All sorts.
Is this a New Year's resolution or what's this?
It's a virtual reality gym.
Already.
It's a lot cheaper than your average gym, lads. $12.99 a month.
You're kidding me.
No, but I'm feeling the burn, lads. Honestly.
You're paying for a pretend gym?
So what it is, you whack the old virtual reality headset on and you enter the gym.
Hello,
and then
it's
not that bleak. So you look around and there are all the other people that have joined the virtual gym with their avatars, and you can wave to them. You can even talk to them if you want to. I don't. I keep my mic mute. My microphone muted. And then in walks the instructor who leads the class, and you follow it. And a bit like a dance mat. If you're doing your moves right, you get little points, and there's a leaderboard, and then there's a cool down afterwards. It's great.
Wow.
Classes all day, every day.
A real instructor.
I think it's a preloaded instructor, but the participants are all genuine.
Do they shout encouraging words at you?
Yeah, well, they don't to me. No. I think they look on awkwardly. But
do they look at you and say this?
No, Mikey, that was so not right.
Yes, quite possibly. But you can do. So there's a boxing one, and there's the legs, bums, and tums. That's the one I've been really focusing on.
Wow.
Oh,
yeah,
very
good.
I'm a big fan of an abs and glute Tae Bo workout, and it's the only thing that ever hurts my glutes.
Well,
the old buttocks. Yeah, it's good to give them a workout occasionally, isn't it?
Yeah, look,
Someone's
I'd
name
recommend
you
it, guys. I would recommend it. Peloton, that's all the rage with your fake instructor. This is very much the same, but the only thing I would say is that the headset does get quite sweaty.
Yeah. Can you get a sweat-proof headset?
I don't know. It's something I'll
Or
look into.
earbuds. You wear headphones like these?
No, not
or do you
headphones.
wear-
Not headphones. No, it's a headset, obviously, because you're seeing things.
Oh, it's VR.
Yeah.
Oh, Struth. I was just about to
Yeah.
say what platform's this on.
Yeah. It's virtual reality. So you look around and there's all and you can choose different gyms. You can do outside gyms. You can be on a mountain.
Well, I'd like to be on a mountain, please.
It's genuinely got me remotely interested in exercise.
Wow.
But exercising wearing a VR headset.
Yeah.
On the
That's
plus
like-
side, you don't have to leave your lounge.
Yeah.
It's like going, oh, you know what? I'm gonna do some I don't know, Zumba with a crash helmet on. I mean,
Yeah. It is very much of that
Yeah.
style. Yeah.
very odd. Which talking of very odd and trying to dial it back in, this season has felt very fragmented,
Hasn't it?
The World Cup. There's been FA Cup games. There's just been every time you get a sort of run of a few weekends of fixtures for Fantasy Premier League, something else happens. The Queen died, God rest her soul, and it's caused a lot of fragmentation. So it's hard to remember where we were here.
Very sad what happened with the Queen, but it would have been helpful had she timed it with an international break.
Absolutely, would have been more convenient. So we had game week 21, which feels like a long time ago. I remember certainly me and Ant were talking about doing something a bit different and having some fun. So let's go to Ant and see how much fun he had.
Well, I know that in game week 21, Philip, I did have a bit of fun because I brought old Nonto in, which worked out well. He got 2 points.
Hello, darkness, my old
But
friend.
I did get 80 points because I did have my captain picked. And like everybody else in the game, other than you, Phil, which we'll get onto, I had Haaland, who got 34 of my 80 points, which was beautiful stuff. But most amazing thing about my team this week is my two goalkeepers between them. Obviously, only one of them got points, and I picked the wrong one. But between them, they got 19 points, which is quite amazing.
Wow.
Alisson got 9, and Guita, sat on my bench, got 10, which must be a first. Other than that, obviously, it was a Manchester United Arsenal game, which feels like an absolute lifetime ago now.
It really does.
Thinking back, but it was a brilliant game of football. Not as good as Wrexham against Sheffield United last Sunday, but it wasn't bad. What a game of football that was, by the way.
Yeah, that was brilliant. Yeah.
Saka got 9, Rashford got 7, De Bruyne at last back in the points with 6. Other than that, Shaw 0. I started Senesi. I went a bit different because I had a feeling
was a bit different.
It was a bit different, and it was because I was knowing that Manchester United were going to concede goals, which I was absolutely right on. Unfortunately, what I wasn't predicting was that Senesi would be dropped by our good friend Gary O'Neill. So he was on the bench. So Shaw came off the bench for 0.
Do you know how many people own Senesi?
I would guess it's me and me only out of the 11 million players or however many there are in the game.
Well, it is 0.1% ownership. So
0.01 or 0.1?
0.1.
But they don't go. There is no lower option. Is there anybody that's got no ownership?
It's got to be someone.
Yeah. I mean, quite a few in the Bournemouth squad.
Okay.
I mean, it's not surprising when you look at his points since return from the World Cup. He's got 1, 0, 1, 1, and then got dropped for the Forest draw. So anyway, 80 points all out for me, boys. Not too bad, I have to say. 15 above average. But how did that compare to you two then?
Michael, do you remember?
I don't, but I have got it in front of me.
You've got access to the internet. Perfect.
Yeah. 73 points for me, lads. Trippier, the gift that keeps on giving. Dan Burn.
Hang on. Yeah. Feel free to say his name again.
Dan Burn. Got me 6. In terms of, there weren't many highlights in terms of what I'd brought in and what they did for me. Rashford for 7 and 6 for Ming both sat on my bench. It's been
Rashford on your bench.
That
been the-
was ridiculous.
Well, is it? When you look at my front seven were Odegaard, Salah, Mitoma, Martinelli, Haaland, Wilson, and Tony.
Yeah.
So it was just difficult to
Yeah.
squeeze him in there. Anyway, look. Truth be told, lads, Mitoma was my one shining light. Really, 10 points, and he was my punt as well, which I was rather chuffed about.
Yeah, no, I'm pleased for you.
He cost £2.5 million, which, when we're talking about some of the money that got spent yesterday, which was absolutely obscene levels, £2.5 million. The scouting team at Brighton are doing an unbelievable job. They're finding some bargains out there because he's been incredible. He scored a great goal as well, didn't he, against Liverpool in the FA Cup at the weekend?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he's on fire. I like Mitoma. He plays with a smile on his face, doesn't he? He's one of those players.
Talking of on fire, Phil, it feels like you've
come
won
on
this week.
Sorry, got a cold. That wasn't me. Just about to do a grand introduction to being on fire. No, yeah. Well, I didn't have a bad week. Like we discussed, I wanted to have more fun. So of course I thought, you know what? And it isn't fun when you've captained Haaland and he scores. It isn't fun because everyone else has got him pretty much, with the exception of me last week. So when he scored, I thought, okay,
I mean, I'll be honest.
One goal.
That I'm an owner, and that was fun because you didn't own him.
Purely, but it wouldn't have been fun had I owned him.
No,
there we go. So when he got his hat trick, obviously not ideal, but I had Harry Kane in the last game of the game week, so I had hope there. That quickly vanished when he kept missing sitters, but he scored one goal. So Captain Kane for 12, and Nketiah got 13 points for me. That was the real difference. Ariza Balaga has done really well since the World Cup. Before the World Cup, he was really bad, but he's got a 10 and a 9 in his last 2 games. Goodness knows what players are going to be playing in front of him, by the weekend, because Chelsea have made a lot of signings. An awful lot of signings. But yeah, I ended up with 86 points somehow. It's
very good.
Nothing short of a miracle, really. I mean, the form I've had since the World Cup, I've jumped from 1.792 million to 742,000 in about 5 weeks. But I don't know why. Don't know I haven't done anything particularly maverick. The only thing I've got different to you, and I was going to discuss this, is that you've both got quite good squads.
You've got Schlupp.
That's one way of putting it, yeah. So I've got a decent starting 11, and then Schlupp, Kinder Bueno, Danny Ward. I have got, a bit of value on the bench with our dear friend Tim Ream.
You've made that sound clip, and you are determined to get some use out of it.
It's the only reason he's still in my squad. So I didn't even play the Schlupp one because I can't remember what it was.
There it is.
Yeah, sorry about the coughing. I had some lovely, really nice bangers and mash for dinner. My wife made bangers and mash. I like to grind a bit of pepper on top. I like the pepper on the mash, and I think I just bit into a bit of pepper that was still in my mouth. You get that?
Yeah, you do.
Bit of peppercorn.
You know how to live, mate.
Or I tell you what. I mean, I didn't want to have this discussion on air, but we're going there. Onion gravy is a game changer. If you're getting Bisto gravy, I don't like meat-specific gravies. I don't know how you feel on meat-specific gravies.
I mean, is there an option for just meaty gravy?
Yeah, the red one. The red one is just like Bisto gravy.
That's beef. That's beef.
Is it beef?
That's beef.
Yeah, it feels like it's beef, Phil.
Oh.
I mean, I'm Googling it right away.
But it doesn't say beef on it. Bisto red gravy. Is it vegan?
Bisto.
Just is yeah.
It does say Bisto beef granules here.
Where it just says Bisto gravy granules here. Bisto
Yeah.
favourites.
Dig a little deeper, Phil. Dig a little deeper, and it's beef gravy.
Other brands
No.
are available.
No, but you're looking at the special one that's in the
No.
jar. That it's
No, I'm not.
seemingly.
No, I'm not. I'm looking at a box actually.
You're looking at a box,
Mm.
a circular box, a
Square box.
cylindrical box.
I'm
Circular
aware
box would be insane and really unhelpful putting it in your pantry.
Mm.
I mean, if you go to the Asda site, it just says Bisto gravy granules. No mention
Right,
of beef
fine.
anyway.
We've spent enough time on this, and I think you might actually be right. Fine. Fine. I'm not gonna entrench myself in this anymore.
I love the way, if in doubt, talk about food on this pod.
Yeah.
Onion gravy. Onion gravy with bangers and mash, and indeed, if you are dipping chips in gravy, onion gravy is definitely the route to go down.
Okay.
Thanks for the advice, mate. Thanks for the advice.
That's
like-
if you switch
solid.
off now, that's fine. You've learnt something.
That's your one takeaway for the week. Then so be it.
Yeah. They've heard the Tim Ream sound. They can go now. It's fine. It's fine.
Phil, just to get back on your previous point about strong squads.
Thank you.
Talking about me and Mike. Just looking at my outfield bench for this weekend. You say strong. It's Senesi, Seamus Coleman, and Zaha. I'm not so sure that is particularly strong.
Well, Zaha's strong. I mean, that's quite an impressive player to have, isn't it?
Well, he's currently injured, I think, or certainly down as doubtful. And Everton are a bit of a basket case at the moment, aren't they? They've got Arsenal at home. And of course, they were the only Premier League club in the window not to sign a single player. And they even had the farcical situation with Dan Juma signing for them. And then 24 hours later going, actually, I'd rather go and play for Spurs. So, which I think made most Bournemouth fans laugh as well, to be fair.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't think you'd have any Everton players in your team at the moment, would you? Not even with Sean Dyche, who will somehow almost certainly keep them up.
Yeah, that's more than likely going to happen. Going back to Chelsea, okay. So last night they've bought Enzo Fernandez for a British transfer record fee of about £105 million.
Yeah.
Your views on that?
The world's gone mad. The world has gone completely mad. Bear in mind.
Oh, there's a touch of the Karol Poborski for me about this.
Yeah, I think Mike.
Someone's had a good tournament. Someone's had a good tournament, and we've jumped on it and paid well over the odds.
Bear in mind, he only cost Benfica 8.8 million about 8 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, what a profit they made on him. Yeah, literally had a good World Cup, and now Chelsea, who by the way spent more than the top 4 leagues in Europe combined on players, absolutely mad, and they sit 10th in the Premier League. What the hell's going on? I think undoubtedly he's a good player, but is he really worth 100 and something million?
Well, according to FPL, he's worth 5 million.
I mean, he doesn't feel like an asset who's going to get you points, does he? He's very much a defensive midfielder who's going to sit in there, and I can't see him being in the goals or the assists for Chelsea.
He scored for River Plate. He scored 10 goals in 40 games.
That's a pretty good record, isn't it, for defensive midfielder? But yeah, would you be tempted at that kind of price?
Absolutely not. I don't.
I
don't think he's gonna. I don't think he's better than Schlupp.
I mean, I don't want to. I mean, I'm not going to claim that I've done a great deal of research into tonight, but I have done some transfer window talk. So maybe let's not jump the gun on this too much, lads.
Well, okay. Yeah, I cannot believe you've done preparation.
I've made a note of half a dozen assets that are worth looking at.
You have to understand this is more preparation than you've done all year.
Yeah, it's true. It's absolutely true.
Right. Okay. Well, let's go, Mike. Let's do it.
No, we've got a quiz to do first, lads.
Oh, have we? Oh, because you won.
Because I won.
This is a man who's won. Okay.
Yeah. Gosh, someone's remembered a quiz because he's won.
Yeah.
Convenient.
Play the tune, Phil.
Okay, I'll play the tune if that's what you want. It's a quiz, it's a quiz, it's a quiz, it's a quiz. The loser gets their captain picked by a listener with great instinct. Sometimes cruel and sometimes kind. The listener is always right. It's a quiz, it's a quiz, it's a quiz, it's a quiz.
Thank you. Right, so this is what we're going to do, lads. It's going to be first to 3 correct answers. We'll keep it nice and simple. Matoma got me the 10. Just to check, how did you boys get on with your pants?
Oh, I think I went for Serge Aurier because Bournemouth hadn't scored for several years, and
Yeah.
Bournemouth scored.
I had
Right.
Monte Leeds who did
Oh,
nothing.
yeah.
2
okay.
points for him. So yeah, you comprehensively won this week, mate.
All right, good stuff. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to describe slowly but surely club badges from in the Premier League. And
Okay.
you boys have the opportunity to say your name and I'll stop the description and you can make a guess. If you get it wrong, you are frozen out
Ooh.
and the other person gets the full description.
Down the flaming pros, Vinny!
So,
What a
first
good
of 3,
idea.
lads.
What a good idea for a quiz.
Thank you.
I just
First-
can't believe
How
you've
much
done
prep?
prep.
This is
You've got a
amazing.
quiz.
Yeah.
What's happened to you?
Well, yeah.
I mean,
Maybe
I
you
don't know.
need to have stressful
pre-pod,
tests often. Yeah, this is
pre-pod, you were
This is the
listing
new
a
mic.
million
Virtual gyms.
reasons as to why you might be late, and it
Well-
sounded like you were panicked. Anthony laughed the fact that I accidentally said that I'd emailed a link to the podcast in a sex instead of in a sec because he's a big child. But you seem very stressed.
Yeah, well, I was stressed, but eager to not let our listeners down. So,
What a
yeah, game
hero.
on. Well, you know, I try.
all 3
I
of
try.
them. What a
What a
edge.
hero.
Here we go then, guys, with badge number 1.
I'm really sorry. Do
Oh,
we
yeah.
buzz in?
You say your name.
He did clarify
Say
this
your name.
Wow.
And then all the colours will illuminate.
I'm going to see Florence and the Machine next Monday. Is it, Holly? Next Monday, if you wanted to babysit.
Yeah, sure.
Cool.
I'd love to.
Great. Thank you. I was meant to arrange that, not live on air, but
I was
with
gonna say, it
someone.
doesn't feel like the forum to do that, but okay.
Yeah, this is great.
Please don't
Here
rob
we
my
go
house.
then.
Please don't rob my house if you don't consider Mike adequate security.
Badge number 1, boys. Remember, if you do buzz in and you get the wrong answer, you are frozen out. Okay, badge number 1, and it's a circular badge.
Oh, lovely. How many chances do we get?
You get 1 guess, and if you get that wrong, you're frozen out
Oh,
Okay.
that is tough.
per turn. Okay, here we go. It's a circular badge. Inside the circular badge is another circle.
Oh,
Inside that circle is a crest. In amongst the decorations on that crest, there is a 5-pointed shape. I'm going to call it a pentagon that is red. There are stripes behind said red pentagon, and upon those stripes sits something gold. It's a gold boat. To the side of the boat,
Phil.
oh, yes, Phil.
Manchester
Gold
City.
boat.
It is Manchester City. Well done. 1 point to you,
Yeah,
Phil.
Very good, Phil.
Oh,
Okay.
That's horrible. That.
It's
Yeah.
exciting, isn't it? Drawing a
Double.
picture in your mind.
It's good.
Okay. Next one, then, lads. There is a crest. Beneath the crest sits a ribbon. Upon the ribbon sit 2 flames, one at either end. They
And
are burning. Oh, yes,
Crystal
Anthony.
Palace.
Oh, no,
it's not Crystal Palace, Ant, I'm
Oh
afraid.
no, I've just realised who it is.
I think
Well, I
I know
will
who it is, but I will just listen if that's
I
okay.
will continue. In amongst the crests, there is a bird.
Yeah, I
That-
thought it might be. Is it a live bird?
It is a live bird.
Is it Liverpool?
It's Liverpool 2-0 PB. Okay,
Well
then.
done.
So the good news is the quiz is going to be done nice and quickly this week. There it is.
Unbelievable, Jeff.
Okay. Third and what could be final badge. There is a crest. The crest has stripes. Either side of the crest are what appears to be seahorses.
Phil. Oh, sorry. I've just broken up every member of the household and possibly road.
Yes,
That was
Phil.
loud. Newcastle.
And there it is. It's the hat trick. 3-0. Game over. It was indeed Newcastle United.
It's the Seahorses that did it.
Yeah.
Well.
Comprehensive.
Because
Well,
what are
guys-
they? What are they on the Newcastle badge? Newcastle badge design seahorse. Smash yourselves.
Yeah. Really not sure, but yeah, they look a bit like seahorses.
They do look like seahorses.
A mermaid horse seahorse.
What makes it a mermaid horse seahorse?
It's only got 2 legs, and it's got a tail like it's got like arms like this, and
Like this is not very podcast friendly.
like it's doing. It's got like it's doing doggy paddle in a swimming pool.
Yes.
It's doing that, and then it's got a tail which looks like a mermaid's, but a horse's head. Yeah, it's sexy, but I don't trust it.
Ooh, I'm not sure it's remotely sexy. Well, that was, guys, the quiz.
Oh, well, that was fun. I
Very good,
won't
Michael.
play the sound. You know, we want to have more. People want more content in their lives. They don't need multiple quiz intros.
Okay, fine.
Or outros.
What I'm going to do then is I'm going to highlight 6 players, and I'm going to ask Anthony to give me their price because I haven't researched that. How's that sound?
That sounds good. While you are
Okay.
beginning to talk, I will get up their price.
Fantastic. Oh, yes, Phil.
Your views on putting in a brand new untested player?
Risky.
Is it risky, but risk and reward? That's what this game's all about.
Mm.
Go hard or go home.
When
that a thing?
I've done.
Are we just throwing out cliches?
Why not?
What does that
The early
mean?
bird,
though?
the early bird catches the worm.
It does. To be honest, you can listen to too many podcasts and too many cooks spoil the broth. You don't want to get involved
very
in
good.
that.
Very
Yeah.
good.
Any more?
A watching pot never boils.
A watching pot. A watched pot.
A watched pot. It's certainly
A
never
pot
boils.
to be watching would be odd. That'd be. I mean, I would check your security if you know.
Here we go then with our first recommendation. My first recommendation for assets in Fantasy Premier League, and this is a name known to us already. Made the switch from Brighton to Arsenal, and that is Leandro Trossard. Anthony, what be his price now?
£6.7 million.
Okay, now he came on as a sub, got 10 minutes against United. I think he's going to get game time, but I don't think he's going to start.
If he gets game time, is that going to be at the expense of Martinelli, who so many people have?
Yeah, I mean he's more. Trossard is more expensive on the game than Martinelli, but yeah, we've got to work out. Yeah, it's one of those. Odegaard, Saka, Martinelli. They're the 3 popular picks, aren't they, in midfield for Arsenal?
Yeah.
Is one of them going to make way?
Oh, I don't know. You said make way there, like there's a pun which I've missed.
Oh no, I'm
there
literally
wasn't,
just
okay.
asking a question. Yep.
Okay, cool. Because Arsenal have 2 fixtures in game week 23, which is the game week after this one.
What are those 2 fixtures? I believe one of them is Manchester City.
Manchester City at home and Brentford at home that week. This week they've got Everton away under Sean Dyche.
Well, that feels
Feels
winnable.
like, yeah, it feels like a banker, doesn't it? Even if it is Sean Dyche's first game. I just can't see
That's it.
Trossard starting over Martinelli. And when they're the same price, I'm not sure you would at the moment, would you?
Okay, that's fine.
I don't think Martinelli's done anything wrong.
Yeah.
And you know, as the cliche goes, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Thank you. That is.
This is just ridiculous.
Okay, can I give you another Arsenal player who won't be starting?
Oh, yes,
Jorginho.
please.
Now, very good on the pens. Do you think he'll get to take pens?
The
No.
old Saka's run up.
Saka's been on pens.
Saka's done well at pens. I think it's fine.
Okay.
I can't see Jorginho taking that over.
And I can't
In which case,
necessarily
it's an awful asset, even if he does start.
he may not start, but I think as a signing, not fantasy football. I heard a lot of Arsenal fans complaining about it. I actually think that's a really good signing. It's a great backup for because you've got Partey in there, haven't you? And you've got
Who's injured now?
Yeah, and Partey's injured.
Oh, hold up then, game changer.
Oh, okay. So Partey's injured, and you got Xhaka.
So Jorginho, 5.8 million, just 2.1% ownership. So potential little differential there, but
5.8.
might want to see if he's actually going to play first, even with those injuries. But yeah, a bit left for that one from Arsenal because they were after Casado, of course, at Brighton, weren't they? They were willing to pay 70 million, which got rebuffed. But yeah, I'm not sure, boys, on that one.
Okay, all right.
He's got just 49 points so far this season.
Okay, well, I'm moving into genuinely usable assets now. With Danny Ings, lads.
You could have led with genuine ones, and then people wouldn't have switched off.
Sorry about that. Sorry, guys. Thank you for sticking with us, those of you that are still here. So Danny Ings has made the move from Aston Villa to West Ham. I think we commented upon the fact that he's played for 3 Claret clubs and now just Scunthorpe left to completely quadruple.
Yeah.
So he's scored 6 goals in 19 so far for Villa this season. His goal record in the Premier League is pretty solid. It's pretty much a goal every 3. So 68 goals and 19 assists in 189 games. I think he starts ahead of Scamacca, and I think he may well start ahead of Antonio. Your thoughts?
My thoughts are that he's got a knee injury and he's only got a 50% chance of playing.
For crying out loud.
No. If he is over said injury, then yeah, I think it's a good little shout, and he's a great differential as well. Just 1.5% ownership, 6.4 million pounds. But yeah, I actually think that is a bit of a shrewd business by West Ham, who have obviously been struggling this season at the wrong end of the table. But yeah, that might be one to leave right to the last minute because, to say, the current status is just a 50% chance for this weekend.
He's also his next 3 fixtures are Newcastle away, Chelsea at home, and Spurs away.
Tricky.
It's going well. Okay, let's move on to a player who I'm confident will start, and I have just checked he's not injured, and that is an advert. So I'll tell you, we record this on laptops, and an advert started with some kind of moving music, and I thought that you, Phil, had played a sound clip. But it wasn't. It was an advert, ironically, for a gym. So a real life one. Anyway, oh gosh,
oh no, he loves the soundboard.
That's me. That's me. Just a different sort of sound.
Yeah. Okay. Right. So the next player I've got is Antoine Semenyo, who has joined AFC Bournemouth this week for around £10 million. Live wire, lads, and can play down the middle. I think in the absence of Solanke, I think he probably will. I don't know whether Kiefer Moore started the last game at a necessity. I think he'd been dropped by Gary O'Neill going into that game. He'd missed the previous couple. He'd been benched. I think they're looking maybe for a more mobile front three. I love Kiefer personally, but I think that they are looking for a more mobile front three. Semenyo, I think, comes straight into the side and will play through the middle. Your thoughts?
My thoughts are that if he starts doing well in this game, and I can get the sound clip of Semenyo,
I have to agree with Mike. I think okay, still going. My thoughts are that he does go straight into the team. My one concern would be our fixtures, boys. You know, we're not in good form. We know that. But
cross that one out as well. Yep. Okay. Yep.
Brighton away, Newcastle home. A bit of a 6-pointer in a couple of weeks' time away at Wolves. But then the next 3: City at home, Arsenal away, Liverpool at home. So potentially, boys, maybe in March when we've got a nice, an easier run. But yeah, £5 million, and yeah, definitely want to keep an eye on. But we've got a really tricky couple of games coming up.
Anthony, is he a midfielder or an attacker in the game?
That is a very good question. Let me just double check.
Thank you.
He
Thank you
is
very
down
much.
as a forward.
Is he? That is
Yes.
disappointing.
Yeah, he was saying he plays anywhere across the front three. So yeah, I think basically he needs to come straight into this team and do well. Doesn't need for us to have any chance of staying up, and we just need Solanke fit, which hopefully will be very soon. Because without him, I can't see us staying up.
Bournemouth have splashed a lot of money. The Ukrainian defender Ilya Zabinya,
Yep.
he has got. He was apparently touted as being an excellent player. He's got what you said, 24 caps for Ukraine. He's only 20 years old.
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
Yeah, but again, Bournemouth defense. I've been watching a lot of NFL. Sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah,
look at the goal we conceded against Forest. Yeah, defensively, all at sea at times. But yeah, it's not a bad shot there, Mike. One to keep an eye on.
Okay. All right, then. Let's move on, and maybe we'll hit the jackpot with this one then. I'm going for Mudryk of Chelsea.
Oh, yeah,
So
I
I'd
like
like
this
to
one.
know his value, please. He's played 19 games so far this season, including a sort of cameo appearance of 35 minutes in the Premier League last time out. He's played 6 times in the Champions League, 12 times in the Premier League. And in those 19 games, he's scored 10 goals and assisted 8.
Yeah, he looks a real live wire, didn't he, when he came on? £7 million he is. 2.4% of players have jumped on him straight away. But the good news is, fixtures-wise, out of the players you picked out, I would suggest on paper Chelsea have by far the best run of games coming up. Fulham at home, West Ham away, Southampton at home. They do have Spurs away, but then after that, got Leeds, Leicester, Everton, Villa, Wolves, and then Brighton. But that's way through April. So that is a little tasty one of games for Chelsea.
Super tempted by that.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, it's the sort of thing I could do it now.
Who would you take out there, Mike? Out of your current lineup, who would you be getting rid of to bring him in?
Yeah, that's a really good question. Let me have a quick look at who I've got left, because obviously, I talked about last game week's team. We've had a week and a half since then. Anything could have happened. My midfield looks like Odegaard. Yeah, you see, I'm going to struggle to take anybody out. Odegaard, Fernandes, Saka, Rashford, Mitoma.
Ooh. The only one you could possibly see if Matoma's form does drop would be him, but he's low value, isn't it? So,
well, I've got imagine this, I've got 9.7 million in my bank.
Yowers.
9.7 million.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, who's the rest of your team?
Wow.
I mean, they're all Wolf subs, but yeah. So I've got I'll tell you my team. I've got Sanchez and Danny Ward are my 2 keepers.
Yeah.
My backline is Zinchenko, Trippier, Shaw, Byrne, and Mings. My midfield is Odegaard, Fernandes, Saka, Rashford, and Mitoma. And my front three, Haaland, Wilson, and Tony.
So you've only got one. You've only got
premium.
One premium. Yeah.
Does allow you more to spend elsewhere.
It's a lovely squad. It's a lovely balance to that squad. And
yeah, there is.
I've got, like I say, I got 9.5 million in the bank.
There's too much on the bench. It would annoy me every week because you're going to get points on your bench.
It is annoying me every week. It is. You're right. It is annoying me every week.
Assuming you've already used bench boost.
Of course.
I mean, yeah, of course. Week 2. Yeah.
Yeah, it just seems too much. Whereas I reckon I could probably put in Mudryk for Schlapp.
That would be good, mate, to be fair.
I think he could be an upgrade. I mean, Schlapp's done me well. He got
could be an upgrade. Yeah, it's question. I don't think there's much questioning about it, but yeah, he could be an upgrade.
I think you're being a bit harsh to young Jeffrey, really.
Do you think he starts? I mean, they've spent a lot of money on him. He's come on for 35 minutes already in the first opportunity. Sterling's not exactly been firing.
And he's been injured.
João Felix came in and didn't massively impress. So,
well, he got sent off.
By massively impress, you mean he got sent off?
Yeah.
I think I think he'll come in this weekend, definitely.
Yeah. You've got textbook definition of a clamber here from the Chelsea fans. They will be
clamber or clamor.
Oh dear.
Oh, textbook. Well, I like a textbook. A textbook definition of clamber.
I'd like a dictionary definition of clamber.
Clamber.
That is
Yeah,
brilliant.
A clamber is to climb or move in an awkward and laborious way, typically using both hands and feet. Is that what's happening?
Yeah, I don't know if you've met Chelsea fans, but that is what's happening. They are animals.
Awkwardly and laboriously working their way towards Mudrick. Is that what you're about to say?
Down the flaming crowsby knee!
I do think that if you look at an average Chelsea fan, I don't mean to offend our Chelsea listenership, they are odd, and it wouldn't surprise me if that was the way that they walked.
Okay. So anyway, you were saying there's a clamour. I think you were about to say.
Yeah, there's clamber. There's a clambering clamour for Mudrick to start. I mean, he impressed in those. I mean, I don't think that Chelsea can afford to not start him because, what's his jobs? My head's completely gone now. Chelsea manager, ex-Brighton.
Graham Potter.
Graham Potter, yeah.
Graham Potter. I don't think that he can afford to annoy the Chelsea fans, and they all want Mudrick to start. So I think he's definitely going to start.
Okay.
Yeah, agreed.
Well, I've got one left, lads, for us to have a quick look at, and that is Pedro Porro.
Mm.
As Michael Dawson said on the Sky Sports News last night, watching results come in.
Was he drunk last night?
I think he was, because he used the line, "Let's hope he's better than Pedro Pony," which
good one.
Well,
if he's
is
into
it?
Peppa Pig?
Yeah.
I don't know his footballing ability.
But there we go. Look, he's a right back, lads. He does like to get forward. In 153 games, he scored 16 goals and he's made 24 assists. He's got time on his side. He's a young lad. He's pacey. They've shipped out. I mean, incredible circumstances, really. They shipped out your man Matt Doherty. Just ripped up his contract. Said, "Yeah, go on." Then off he popped to Atletico Madrid.
To be honest, I felt like doing that myself in at least 2 game weeks this year.
Yeah, true story. And of course, they let Jed Spence go as well. So they're banking on this guy coming in and doing a good job pretty quickly, because it's between him and Emerson Royale. So yeah, definitely want to have a look at how much does he cost on the game, Anthony?
Is he on it yet?
He is on it. £5 million. 0.0% ownership so far. So not many people.
Whoa, blimey, less than Senesi.
Yeah, indeed.
Wow.
Indeed. Possibly because they are at home to Manchester City this weekend. But after that, the fixtures are looking much kinder. Leicester, West Ham, Chelsea, Wolves, Forest, Southampton, Everton. Yeah, really good little run of fixtures for Spurs. So maybe not this weekend. After that, possibly.
Okay. Well, there ends a very small degree, as it turned out, of research. Couple of injured players, couple that won't be playing.
Yeah, a couple of playing
couple of
really
half
hard
decent
fixtures.
shots.
Yeah, it's good. It's good stuff.
I've got De Bruyne, and he's been very average. He's a lot of money for something so average. So I think De Bruyne. I mean, who would you have in midfield if you could have 5 midfielders in the game? Money,
that's exactly what I've done. I've got the 5 I want, because I could have. Well, yeah, because I could upgrade any of them, couldn't I? I haven't done.
So that they are the 5.
They're
so
the 5 for me.
Saka, Rashford,
Fernandes, and Mitoma.
Yeah.
Now, look, it's Fernandes and Rashford obviously have a double game week this week, so that does help their cause. It could be that I shift. It could be that I shift Fernandes out after this week. I don't know. We'll have a think, but yeah, going into this game week, that's as good as it gets. I reckon. I'm pretty happy with that.
With Christian Eriksen being brutally injured by Andy Carroll, that really opens up Fernandes as a captain pick this week, doesn't it? I mean, he'll be on more set pieces.
Well, I've had De Bruyne since game week 1, but I have taken him out today for Fernandes.
Cheeky!
Feels like the most boring transfer, but has to be done. United with those.
To be fair, there's been a big clamber to get him in people's teams. So
A big clamber. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
still in less than 10% of teams, though, boys. 9.4% at the moment. But with the double home game, Man United have won something like 20 straight games at home. Old Trafford is well and truly back to being a fortress. So him or Rashford for captain for me this week with Palace and Leeds at home.
It's
Two
very irritating.
very winnable games. Sorry about that, Phil. Yeah, I've jumped on the bandwagon a little bit, but yeah, De Bruyne not really been in the points that much, but he was my mainstay, but he's gone. He has left my team.
So are you making any other transfers this week with United in mind? Are you willing to take a hit to bring in someone else? Or have you got 3 United players?
I've got 3 assets already: Fernandes, Rashford, and Shaw, and I've got 1 Leeds. Of course, Leeds with the other fixture. I've got Nonto up front, keeping faith with him, in the hope that he might get something in the first fixture, which is Forest away.
Yeah. So just for those who don't know, there's 2 teams with double game week. You've got Man United, who Crystal Palace and Leeds at home, and then Leeds, who've got Forest away, and then Man United at home. The next week, you've got Arsenal with 2 games: Brentford at home, Man City at home. And Man City have got a double: Aston Villa at home and Arsenal away. There is rumours that Arsenal might have a blank on the week after that. That would, yeah, that was the rumor on the rumor mill. That or maybe game week 25.
Game week 24, they're currently down as playing Villa away Saturday at lunchtime.
Correction, it was Man United might have a blank in game week 25. That was my research.
Just very quickly before we finish completely on Man United, we were talking about them just now. I don't know if you were still talking about them. I moved on.
To be honest, I don't really know what I was talking about on that situation.
Okay, well they've put in Sabitzer, but I can't see Sabitzer on the game yet, which is a shame because I think he'll get a fair bit of game time.
He'll have to because of injuries, won't he? That's the
Yeah.
only reason he's come in.
Yeah.
But he wasn't getting game time at Bayern Munich.
No, but he was very, very good at Leipzig prior to going to Bayern. So if he can, recapture some of that form, then I think there'll be a real clamber to get him in people's teams.
It's a lot of clambering, Mike.
Yeah. Well, it happens, doesn't it? There's a real clamber for people to clamber.
I am a grown man, Malcolm.
Yeah, but yeah, I think we've all had fun.
Okay, I'll let it go now. So, are we got any listener questions, or are we now moving straight to fixtures? Because I'm fine with that if we are.
You know what, I think sometimes it's best not to have listener questions because often there are none. But I have got. I'll just and I have to make them up. Do you remember the good old days of Harry from Hereford or whoever?
From Derby.
Yeah. Good times.
Okay. FPL Convict asks, "Is running actually good for you?" This is in light of the fact that my shin popped out when I ran the other day, and it was very weird. Would you, Mike? Would you consider selling Cancelo if you owned him now?
Oh wait, sorry, what? What just happened?
Would you consider selling
What about,
Cancelo?
how does that relate to somebody running?
These are double. It's 2 questions. It's 2 questions.
Well, let me address. Let's not just dismiss the first one. So, I would join a virtual reality gym. With regards to Cancelo, would I sell him,
or just
yes.
hope he comes back?
What?
A
Hope
season
that
long
they've
loan.
inserted a recall option, and that half a
Incredible.
dozen of the defenders get injured. No, I think probably. I would advise people, if you've got him, to move him on.
But you know, if you're a man of your convictions and you believe in the plan that you've got for your team,
If you really believe that, then follow your heart, but it will end in tears.
okay, cool, great. His other question is: are there any of the new arrivals that you want to get in this week? So we've
covered that already. We've very much covered it. Mudryk, that's the one, isn't it?
Are you getting him in?
The one.
I'm not getting him in because I've got my ultimate midfield, and I don't have any free transfers to play with, surprisingly. So I won't, but I will be bringing him in probably the following week.
And you getting in Mudryk?
I feel like I will, but yeah, agreed with Mike. Not this week. I'm happy with the team this week, and it would involve taking a hit. And as we know, I am Mr. Stingy when it comes to taking hits. I'm like the opposite to Mike. Do not like taking a hit. So not for me this week, but Chelsea got a really good run of games, and if ever they're going to actually start winning games of football, it is now.
Oh, yeah, on the basis that you're both not getting him in, that makes me want to get him in more.
Well, if you want to have fun, Phil, which you do like to promote, it does feel like the good time to do it.
I do like to promote fun.
Fun.
Yeah. And nothing is more fun than bringing in Senesi.
Well, that's well, that's not true. Yeah.
So just to be clear, the 3 big takeaways we've given people so far this week are: have fun.
Yeah.
Have fun, of course.
If you've got Cancelo who moved to Bayern Munich, probably best to transfer him out. And
Yep.
onion gravy granules with your sausages.
Honestly,
and
game
VR
changer.
Just to summarise.
Onion gravy. Let me just check. Holly, what did you? My wife is in the room. What were your views on having onion gravy tonight with the sausages? Was it an improvement on the red gravy? It was an improvement, and just because she's completely neutral in this conversation, I'll ask her what flavour is the Bisto red gravy in your mind?
She's definitely going to say beef.
Just gravy.
Just gravy. Come on.
Yes, I
Gravy
got
flavoured gravy. She's to tell you what,
really?
she's a
Come
bright
on.
spark, and that's why I love her. Yeah.
Oh, what sandwiches have you got? Oh, just sandwiches. Come on.
Oh,
Just
just
Anyway,
just
come on. Grow up.
This is just ridiculous.
just quickly on sandwiches. If you
Yeah.
always food.
if you have 2 slices of bread,
Yeah.
you cut them diagonally or you cut them across.
Oh, I so want to talk about this. I
in a
really hope you're going
rectangle.
to say what I'm going to say. Yeah.
Right. So I've gone into work and I've made cheese and pickle sandwiches. So I've got one here, one here.
Yeah.
They are sandwiches. My colleague says what I have is a sandwich, but I'm holding.
That wasn't where I thought this was going.
I'm holding 2 sandwiches, aren't I?
No,
Yeah. It's tricky. That it is tricky.
it is a
because-
sandwich cut in 2. So
But-
your colleague is correct.
Well,
I don't think he is.
Ant is the authority on this.
I know my sandwiches.
I mean, if you have a pizza,
What
and
is
you cut it
going
in
on with
2,
you? Come on, explain yourself. You've insulted Isabel. You've embarrassed me.
If you have a pizza and you cut it in 2, you haven't got pizzas, have you? Right.
Yeah, it's true. It's so true. Case
Yeah,
based, rather.
I thought you were going to say, and I really don't want to have more food content than football, but it does look like we're headed that way. I wanted to discuss the fact that I bought a sandwich from the co-op the other day.
A sandwich or sandwiches?
Sandwiches. Oh, sandwiches. And I had 2 of the straight backed sandwiches, not the curved. And I was very unhappy about the situation.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah, I like a curve.
I
find
Mhm.
I find the straight backs too abrasive.
I agree, and I always save the curve till last. No matter
Yeah.
if I cut it in half at a wonky angle and the curved is smaller, I will still have that one last.
Well, if you've bought one from the shop, will you save the one with the most filling for last, or
yeah.
get that done first?
Always,
Yeah.
always. Although be warned, I had an all day breakfast one the other day from One Stop. No, I'm not name dropping, but I had an all day breakfast one from One Stop, and I saved what I thought was the best filled sandwich till last, only to realize that they filled the middle of the sandwich for display purposes only, and the edge of the sandwich was just bread.
I've changed tack in recent times. I've actually found that it's better to fill yourself up with the first sandwich, and then the second one you've got room just enough for slightly less.
If you're having a meal deal, what drink do you get with it normally? Because I went
Me?
milkshake the other day, and that did not
with a
work at all.
sandwich.
Yeah,
Oh my
it was
goodness.
carnage. It was carnage.
Oh, it's
You don't want to do
basically,
that.
basically
lost your mind,
custard.
Phil.
Yeah, it's basically rice pudding or something you've concocted.
I am
there.
a grown man,
No.
Malcolm.
Yeah.
All about a cherry Coke Zero. Anyway,
Oh, do you like
Um,
a cherry Coke? Vanilla Coke,
Anthony,
I'm a big fan of.
Yes.
how's about Anthony literally just reads the fixtures and we just shut up, and then we can say goodbye.
Or we can just talk about some more food.
Yeah, no, go on, Ant. Read the fixtures for folk that don't have the internet.
Okay, long old game week, boys. We
Don't
start
have the
on
internet,
Friday.
but they are going to download this podcast.
All right. People that are driving and don't have time to look at the
And
fixtures
can't be
on their
bothered.
phone.
And hopefully they're on a 48-hour drive. That's because, and they
Oh,
can't
good
stop
grief.
for refueling. Maybe they've got a solar powered car and they're crossing the Sahara.
Okay, let's for those
Let's do
guys.
it.
Anthony, read the fixtures.
Okay, Friday night deadline, boys. Be warned because it starts with Chelsea against Fulham, 8:00 Friday night.
Oh,
Saturday.
No, Phil, we're just letting him talk. Carry on, Anthony.
We have, Phil, this is players you might want here for 2 live games. We've got Everton, Arsenal, Villa against Leicester, Brentford, Southampton, South Coast Derby with Brighton
hang
against Bournemouth.
no, I'm going to interrupt because he said
What?
there's
Interrupt.
he said there's 2 games and he's listed off about 8.
No, 2 live TV games because I know you like the live TV games for your captain pick.
But you said there's 2 live TV games and you've already done 4 fixtures.
Oh, okay. Well, sorry. I didn't
Bit of
necessarily
detail.
mean that I was going to read the 2 live games first. It's just part of this group of games I'm now talking
Okay,
about.
so I'm driving across the Sahara. Which of the
Right.
games are live?
Oh, good grief. Okay,
Because I'm going
Everton
to
against
be
Arsenal.
parked up by Saturday, so I can
Everton
watch
against
them.
Arsenal. You can let me talk. Everton against Arsenal on Saturday lunchtime, and Saturday evening is Newcastle against West Ham. Okay, happy now?
Okay. I'm much happier.
Good.
Much happier.
Right, where was I? Brighton, Bournemouth, wasn't I? Manchester United against Crystal Palace, Wolves against Liverpool, and then Sunday we've got Forest against Leeds, Spurs against Man City, and then we end on Wednesday evening with Manchester United against Leeds United. Nearly a full week there, boys. Both games live on telly, Phil, on Sunday for your information.
Oh,
So,
thank goodness you've let me know.
so you know, how's that going to work with your captain pick, Phil? Because we know you like a captain who is on TV, and Man United are not on TV. So does this mean you're not going to be picking Rashford, Fernandes, or another?
Oh, you have got to be kidding me. Man United are not on TV for either of their games.
No, they are not. Just to clarify those live games again: Chelsea, Fulham, Everton, Arsenal, Newcastle, West Ham, Forest, Leeds, and Spurs, Man City are the live TV games this game.
This is just ridiculous.
Played that far too much this episode, but it seemed relevant, and I'm sure maybe listeners will agree. Yeah, that's frustrating because I do like to watch my captain, and I was probably thinking Fernandes. I don't hooky feed for the Wednesday game.
Who does he play for?
Yeah, could be.
Wink,
Leeds
wink,
Wolves, isn't it?
signing. Yeah. Oh dear.
bit of a wink on. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm still probably thinking a Man United player, or possibly if you've got him in your team, he'll be on TV once, and that might help you a little bit, and you could get this guy.
You're beautiful.
Bit of Bamford in your life.
Patrick the Bamford.
There was
Well-
a squeak in your house. It sounded like your
Yeah.
smoke alarm's running out of battery.
No, that was my daughter who peered around the corner, saw that I was doing something, and then disappeared very quickly, which is how I would have had it turn out, really. So,
Perfect.
good. Yeah, Patrick Bamford. Yeah, he played in the cup, didn't he?
What an assist that was. I'm sure I forgot to message you about that, Phil. I'm sure you enjoyed that. It was against the mighty Accrington Stanley, but did you see his assist for one of their goals?
I'll
but-
level with you. I did not see it.
I'm amazed. I will send it to you later. You will thoroughly enjoy it.
Something I did enjoy that was sent on the Twitter, which was very, very fun, and I'm sure a lot of people would have seen it already. But I'm slow. But Craig sent me the goalkeeper from Feyenoord. I believe it's from
Oh,
Feyenoord.
yeah.
Feyenoord. It was in the Feyenoord 20 game.
Yeah,
Who
saw this.
rushed out, and then he tackled someone. Ball went out of play, but obviously he was then not in goal. So to stop play, he threw another ball onto the pitch. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's
Absolutely beautiful
amazing.
to see.
Very clever.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of that sort of behaviour. So if you want to search that and have a smile, please do. So that's probably the end of this podcast. Maybe forever. Maybe forever.
Before we switch to talking about food.
If people want to review our podcast, I know it feels a bit late, but we haven't.
I'll be honest. After tonight, it feels brave.
and slightly mad.
Yeah. On Spotify now, you can review podcasts. Apple, if people still have Apple devices, if they're still a thing, you can review us on there. We've got 8 reviews. I'd love to get it to 9 one day. Join the big boys on 9. So leave a review. It can be insulting for all I care. It would just be nice to know that someone has listened. So yeah, there's my plea.
Okay, let's do punts very quickly, shall we, lads? A player of 2% ownership or less who we think is going to haul at the weekend. It led my Matoma pick last time out, led to me winning and having Anthony having his captain picked by a listener this week. The captain will be picked by a listener who also did very well at picking a punt on the Twitter. My punt this week is Weghorst of Manchester United, 1.1% ownership.
Is he really? He's
In
starting
a double
tonight
game week.
Starting tonight in the cup, isn't he?
He's starting every week, mate. They've not got any for strikers. I'm going for Jack Harrison of Leeds, mainly because I got a double game week.
I see what's happened here, and I don't want to panic and pick the first United player I can pick that isn't Weghorst because you've already got him, because that would be Wan-Bissaka, who I don't think is a terrible shout.
It's not a bad shout.
I think Dallo's going to get some game time, but
okay,
go for it, Phil.
Oh, I'll tell you who I'm going to go for.
Yeah,
if I'm just going to check he's under the ownership. I think he will be, but you haven't mentioned him, Mike, and I've never seen him kick a football in my life, so it seems like a good punt to make. Yeah, he's an utter nutter. It's Jorginho Rutter.
Sorry, who now?
He is a forward for Leeds, 5.5 million on the game. Jorginho Rutter. I think he's a record transfer. Oh, good grief! I'm really sorry, but I've just seen that his goals to game ratio is
we
like
have to accept your first answer, I'm afraid.
I mean,
I think Wan-Bissaka may have a better one. So
I think Ronaldo at 2% has got more chance, to be honest, mate.
maybe Cancelo. Maybe I'll go Cancelo.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to go Nonto.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah. I'm going to go Nonto.
Well, look, we've dragged this right out, lads.
It feels that way.
It does, yeah.
It's been a pleasure. Do keep an eye out, guys, because we'll be dropping 100% within the next week several episodes and indeed a podcast called Brothers Not Lovers. That's what we're going with, Phil. Deal with it. Where myself and Phil, and I'm afraid has too many commitments to contribute. But
he's also not a family member.
He's also not a family member.
It
would be brothers and lovers were that the case. So
wow.
Oh, sorry, Ant. We don't talk about. Yeah. Anyway, so
Hello, darkness,
yeah.
my old friend.
Oh gosh.
When's this going to end?
So yeah, the Eurovision podcast coming out with myself and Phil, where we are going to do first listens and watches of the Eurovision tracks as they're released. So we'll tweet it on the socials as soon as the first episodes are up. But we've purposely, by now, it's February. By now, myself and Phil would have, certainly myself, I would have watched a dozen songs that are going to be in the Eurovision Song Contest ahead of time. But we've not done that specifically with this podcast in mind.
Specifically or specifically?
I said specifically. I may have had a brief headset issue.
Okay, cool.
It certainly wasn't a clamber situation.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable comments. Bye.
What a night.
Bye-bye now.
Bye.